Hey everybody, welcome to Northernlion tries Risk Global Domination. The Hasbro board game you know, love, possibly resent, hate, ruined a couple of Thanksgivings perhaps when you got eliminated early, but your dad happened to get Australia on turn 1 and just fortified it so nobody could possibly get in, and all of a sudden you got eliminated 15 minutes into the game and 6 hours later you were hoping to ask Uncle Troy what the heck's going on with his business, but he can't talk because he's in the middle of trying to annex Europe. Anyway, you get the idea. It's out on Steam. It's free to play with monetization, that I'll talk about in a minute. But this has been on my radar forever because I'm a weirdo, right? When it comes to like most anticipated games, people are like, "Oh, you excited for the Final Fantasy VII remake?" And I'm like, absolutely not. What I am excited for is the 11th digital adaptation of Risk coming out on Steam. You know why I like stuff like this, though? Because I like board games, but the worst part of board games is having to self-police the rules and remind people that it's their turn when they're texting. The digital version of that solves all the problems. Now, is it perfect? No, but we played like an hour and a half to 2 hours of it on the NLSS yesterday. I had a good time. We'll play a little against the AI here as well. The first thing I'll say is it is free to play. The way that it works is almost like it's mobile style, right? So you pay tokens to play the game, and then every hour you get one more token. So you get like 24 tokens a day. How much does a game cost to play? Against friends, it's 8. Against the computer, it's 8. In ranked, it's 20. So you can basically play like one ranked game against randoms per day. I will say, could you get angry about this? You could. I think it's a little short-sighted. You could buy the whole game itself and get unlimited plays for like $12, which is fairly reasonable considering it's a well-liked property, I think. But moreover, who amongst us is playing more than one game of Risk on a daily basis? You know, I think that in principle, people don't really like the idea of, you know, you're gated by like an artificial currency or an energy mechanic or something like that. And for the most part, I agree with that. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, if you're playing 3 games of... Well, let me put it this way. If you're playing 10 games of Risk a week, I think that you should probably just invest the $12. Because that's anywhere from, like, you know, 10 to 30 hours of gameplay weekly, just to get to that point. You can also buy, like, new maps and stuff, but I feel like most people are going to be predominantly interested in only the classic maps. I don't know what the normal amount of people for a Risk game is. Let's put in 3. Maybe that'll let it go fast enough that we can actually get something done here. So it is a little jank in that respect. And I'll also say that it is a little jank in terms of the music. I think the music constantly repeating, and I have it super low right now, but the music constantly repeating is probably like the actual most annoying aspect we have here. So I'm thinking, I got 4 troops. Where do I want to go? Europe looks a little soft right now. North America, actually, yeah, North America looks the softest. So if you've never played Risk, basically it's really simple. Here's the way a turn works, okay? Your goal is to try to conquer the entire globe by eliminating the other players. You eliminate the other players by basically rolling dice against them. And the more armies you have, the more dice you get to roll. Is really the gist of it on the most simplistic level you could imagine. The way a turn starts, you take the number of territories you control and like divide it by 3, and then you round down, I believe, in all circumstances. You get that number of armies, and then you can place them wherever you see fit. Then you can attack, then you can fortify by moving troops around. This is kind of a weird one for me. I'll just let you know right off the bat, I'm not actually very good at Risk, which is not going to come as a surprise for many people, I think. The only other thing you need to know is that when you control an entire continent or region, as demonstrated right here, you get bonus armies every single turn. You also get cards that you can redeem in order to get more armies, and that's where you get like, kind of like an RNG aspect on top of the dice aspect, I suppose. So I'm just thinking here, I think we want to do this. So we're going to start in Ontario, which is true to life, I suppose. And then we will attack from Ontario to the Northwest Territory. You can blitz, which just skips the dice rolling animation, but where's the fun in that? So basically, what's the gist of this? They've got 1 army, I've got 3 armies. I need to roll one die higher than the number that they roll on their 1 die right now. So they rolled a 6, I cannot defeat them. Look at, he's laughing. Good men died today, and you're laughing? There you go, we got him. Alright, yes, move all of my troops, please. We're gonna go after Alaska next, and we'll roll 3 again. Now they get 2 die, and honestly, those were great rolls. This is the true nature of Risk right here. Honestly, 1 versus 1 you're never supposed to do, and that's a good reason why. So we have stalled out, unfortunately. And we'll do a little bit more attacking. I think on turn 1 you'd like to attack. I don't want to say as much as possible. Blue goes next. My personal opinion is we should try to take out all the territories that we share with blue whenever possible, just so that they have less of a foothold to get back at us. You know what I mean? 6. If one defender rolls a 6, there's really nothing you could do about that. And I gotta be honest with you, fake Napoleon, he's doing a great job. He's doing a great job. Now this area is gonna suck really badly, but let's see if we can maybe take over Mongolia. That's a great roll, brother. That's a great roll. Okay, so finally. Now I'm just gonna give it to you straight. This area is gonna be pretty nasty. So we'll move on to our fortification phase, I think. And, I think we're gonna fortify... I think I'm gonna move... Really, you can only move... I think I'm gonna move you guys... but you're probably gonna attack. Whatever, I think it's fine. I think we're gonna move these guys over to Japan. And we get a territory card bonus because we captured an arm... Or we captured a territory on our turn. So yeah, I think that the video... Basically, if you're watching right now, you could stop watching. Probably. If you want a digital version of Risk that you can play against randoms and play against your friends, I really think that in this case, and the AI turns basically just auto-resolve, I really think that in this case, the free-to-play model gives more pluses than minuses. You know, I think that the fact that you can get everybody involved for free and basically play a decent digital version of Risk for free with your friends is a big positive. Ooh, that was a bad one. I also like, I mean, I just like playing board games against the AI. I know it seems busted. But it's the honest to goodness truth. I'm a sucker for digital board games for whatever reason. I don't really understand it either, to be honest with you. So I'm trying to think of where we want to go here. And I'm going to tell you, I think I want to control the Americas. So I actually want to start with all of my armies in Japan, I think. By the way, I could very easily be making a terrible mistake in Risk parlance, but I'm not really an established Risk player. I played against my my parents and grandparents growing up, but mostly, I mean, I do like Risk. It does have, I mean, I've got a real philosophy for you, okay? Here's my philosophy on board games. Everyone that has a problem with Risk has a problem with it for the most part because it takes forever. One of the reasons it takes forever is because, you have to oh, come on. You have to calculate your own stuff. We finally did it. There we go. And you have to police your own, like, turn timers, right? That's why I like these games, to be honest with you, is because of the fact that you no longer have to police your own turn timer to be straight up with you. Instead, you know, everything else is completely streamlined. And, I mean, we played 2 games in an hour and a half on the NLSS yesterday, which I was like, that's really good. Now, we gotta be a little cautious here. A little cautious. We don't want to spread ourselves so thin. It's pretty unlikely we're gonna be able to get to Mexico on this turn, so I honestly think we pass and go to fortification. And I think the best move... Blue goes next, huh? I think the best move is to move these units up here, just to make it a little harder to get over the Bering Strait. I think we're actually in a pretty good position. I got my butt kicked on the NLSS yesterday, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Okay, so blue is going after Australia. Anybody who has played Risk knows that Australia only gives you +2. But on the other hand, for some reason, it seems to be like a linchpin when it comes to actually succeeding. Go ahead, take Europe. See if I care. Now, I will say there are variants on the rules. Like, one of the variants that I have on is true randomness when it comes to dice rolls. The reason I have that on is because we played one with Blitz, which I think, basically, if you Blitz, it's not only skips the dice roll animations, but if you turn the setting on and it's on by default, it kind of just allows you to steamroll a little easier. Like, if you have a huge dice advantage, it just keeps... basically, not providing mathematical certainty necessarily, but creating a situation where it's very, very likely you're going to succeed and do so quickly with the minimized loss of armies. So, basically, the way that Risk is supposed to work, to the best of my memory, even if you have one army, if you roll a 6, you're always going to take an army off of the attacker. Blitz seemed to mitigate that somehow. Which is against the spirit of Risk, in my opinion. Oh, did I not? I thought I was on the other side of that one. That's my bad. I was complaining for no reason. Okay, so defenders always win a tie. We just have to roll higher than a 5. It has been done. Alright, we have control of North America. We're also about to control South America, and I definitely think it's worth doing. Oh, baby! 6-6 beats 5-5. Okay. So really, like, it's a very momentum-driven game, right? Like, your whole point in the game is when you control territory, hold that territory, and by holding that territory, you're going to get more armies. You're going to use those armies to really, you know, disproportionately give you an advantage moving forward. And to be honest with you, I think that's the end of our turn. I want to make sure I control North America, which does contain Greenland. No offense, Denmark. So we're actually going to move some units up to Greenland so that we have a little bit of a bulwark there. Now, I want to see what you're up to. What are you doing here? You're putting 2 units there. Okay, you might have a chance to take over North America. Never mind. A Pyrrhic victory. You'll love to see it. Honestly, I think we'll win this game easily. Nice fortification. Moves +0, -0. So I will also say that on the next turn, we might be able to turn in our cards. We can turn in our cards. The way that this works, if you have a set of 3, you get 4, 6, or 8. But if you have like 1 of each and you turn it in, you get 10, and then you also get 2 for each one whose territory on the card you control. So we're actually, I think we're about to get 12 extra armies. Oh, and 2 automatically go to Egypt. Okay. So what would we do following this point? There is a temptation. I mean, we have 22 armies right now. That's wild. I don't really want to screw over green too badly. Luckily, there's no turn timer right now. I'm just thinking it over. I don't really want to screw over green too badly. I really want to mess with blue, especially because they go next. So I think, like, keep in mind, blue might be able to turn in a bunch of cards here. So why don't you go ahead and give me, like, you know, put 10 armies right here. And then we still have 12 armies to put down. I think I'm going to just be straight up with you. Why don't you give me 12 armies right here? Okay, so we're going to do like a multi-front thing here. We don't want to overextend. No 6s, please, from blue. You hate to see it. Try again. The heart of the dice determine a lot of things here. That's another army down. You hate to see it. It's 10v1. There we go. Okay, yes, please move all units. And then we do want to take Western Europe as well. I don't want to leave them any territory where they can actually mount a comeback against me. Alright, it's 6v2. It's 5v1. We've done it. There were heavy losses, no denying that. And we're actually just going to pull back some of those troops. I don't really want to... I don't want to be overexposed through this region right here. Okay, and then what's the second play? Well, you gotta take over Yakutsk, of course. God, I love playing games against the AI, dude. Medium AI is about my intellectual equal. Playing against 3 other human beings who can see through my very rudimentary strategies. No thank you. You hate that. You hate that. That's what I get for making fun of the computer. I apologize. So I don't really, again, I think green being relatively strong here is a positive for me, to be honest. However, I do need to come down here in order to mess with blue. And messing with blue is of pivotal importance right now. Especially with blue going next. Oh, come on! Sorry, I did want to do this. Especially with blue going next. Oh, come on, dude! I really wanted to take over one of the Australian states so that they didn't get any bonuses, but that's not going to happen. Honestly, it's too risky. Losing so many of those armies is indeed a real bummer. I think we will move to fortification and move back our troops to here. And I'm hoping green doesn't mount an assault from Japan. I'm hoping that they start in Asia and move down towards Australia, but we'll see. So yeah, they are going to move out of Australia, which is to be expected. They do have cards, by the way. That's very dangerous. Because you never know when those cards could get turned in. Alright, let's see. Is green going to screw me? I can't see what happened at the top there, but... Okay. Okay, a little balanced assault here. Green has attacked blue. You love to see it. Green has taken over North America. Well, one of the North American areas from me. I very much do not appreciate that. That's okay. We got 9 troops. Spicy. Pretty spicy. I still want to screw over blue, but green's scaring me a little bit. So number 1 priority, you have to take over Greenland again. We still have 5 more troops. I think we maybe take a little bit of a balance turn this time and just play some defense. I am worried about this back door here, but there's not much I can do about that. So step 1, this is a big roll. Low greens, please. I'll take it. I'll take it. And then yes. Do we care to take Iceland? Honestly, I think we should because it'll slow them down. It also it keeps them from getting the European bonus if they were previously going to have a chance to get the European bonus. So I kind of like this, but I don't think we need to take Scandinavia. Or Great Britain, for that matter. The next step. The next step. Over here, we got anything going on? Again, I don't really want to slow down green. The most important thing for me is, like, if we could slow down blue. I want blue and green to fight. Blue has some cards they're probably going to turn in, by the way. So I will continue to the fortification phase. And I think I'm just going to... I think I'm going to move you to here in order to make it a little harder for you to get North America that way. Don't trade in your cards. Oh, they traded in their cards. Oh, here we go. All we can hope is... let's go. Very high rolls from green benefit us a great deal here. I think you'll love to see it. I honestly think that went pretty well for us. Green's got no gas now. Where are you going? 3 troops there. Attack. Acceptable. Those were acceptable losses. Oh, I really thought they were going to try to get into South America, you son of a gun. Look at this. 14 bonus troops. So, in my world, we have to take over Japan. So I think I'm going to put 5 troops right here. Where's our next most dangerous area? Honestly, nothing else is too bad. I think we could do, like, you know, 6 troops here. And I'm kind of like, what about 3 troops here? And start getting some expansive attitudes. So step 1, we gotta take over Japan. It just has to be done. You take it. Low rolls from green, please. Oh, baby, the lowest of rolls. And we've done it again. Alright. So I'd like to move as few troops as possible. You have to move at least as many troops as dice you rolled, obviously. I don't know, that might not be obvious now that I think about it. Okay, we're going to make a little move here. Out of Madagascar. You love to see it. Really just good dice luck. Can't be too upset. Straight up, because of blue, I don't really want to take over. That's probably a situation where we will just click off. I don't really want to take over anything that borders blue right now. Blue kind of scares me, but, you know, if we can secure our holdings until we can draw maybe more armies. I think the next person that plays, that redeems army cards will probably be in an amazing position. Do I care to take over the Congo? For now, I'm going to say that the answer to that question is probably no. Yeah, that seems right. So I think we're just gonna hold. And I think we're gonna pull armies from here. Put them here, because blue scares me. So I wanted to point out, at this point, we're just playing Risk. You know, this is no longer like a Northernlion tries. The only thing I will say is that some board games on Steam are a little jank. And Risk Global Domination, it has some free-to-play / mobile jankness in it. But apart from that, it's actually like a reasonably good and faithful adaptation of the board game. I actually think they did a pretty good job here. Monetization is, at first, maybe a little striking, but not overly egregious, for sure. And I think the barrier to entry being so low is actually like a big positive in the whole scheme of things. So I really think they did a pretty good job on this one, to be honest. We're going to put all of our troops here first. Okay. So I think, honestly, we're in like a dominant position. We just... Green, I gotta be honest with you, your only path for victory is me taking this territory. We need to provide a counterbalance to blue's hegemony in the region, okay? If you would just give me open borders, I would just move through. Unfortunately for you, that's not how the game of Risk works. Now, I'll be straight up with you. I really don't see us making it through here right now. There's going to be some major dice rolls taking place. Oh, baby. That was a huge one. That was also a huge one. If I were green, this is where you do a little table flip for sure. Again, I want to be straight up with you. It's not my intention to mess with green. I would really... The defender always has an advantage in Risk. So I'd really like blue to attack into me and get bodied. So here's what I'm going to do. Green, this is because I respect you, okay? I'm actually going to take over this territory. That way, blue is going to have to attack me. And I'm going to leave it at a level that's going to cause some blood. Now, I'm just going to level with you. I've got to be careful because I'm creating a situation where green can only attack me. But to be straight up with you, that situation already exists. So at this point, I guess I'm kind of all in. So I don't think we want to attack any further. I'm just trying to think about where we'd like to go from here. This is a scary area because we got two different like fronts that could be that could hit it. Okay, so I think you probably pass turn, and then you maybe move like Japan down to here. That's kind of a spicy zone as well. And then please God, can I redeem on my next turn? I can redeem. I can get 8 plus 4, which is obviously 12, but we don't get to choose where 4 of them go. So we knew that was likely. Don't do it. Don't. Oh, they stopped. Okay. So it's all about green, and green is redeemed recently. Are you gonna take one of my areas? You gonna try to take over Egypt? Ooh, that's horrible for you. You really lost 6 right there? That's abysmal. Alright, trade in. Oh, we lost 1, so we didn't get the extra 2. That's fair. At this point, dude, I just got to level with you. How many cards you got? How many cards you got? I don't know how many cards you got. This has the potential to get you. But here's the thing. If we knock green out of the game, we actually take their cards. So we're going to put all 27 troops here. And here's where the real fun of Risk happens. Risk is a game that is predominantly fun in the early game and then extremely fun for the person who's winning. After that point, your mileage may vary a little bit. 28 V2, we finally did it. And then we're going to take like a very circuitous route here. But if we eliminate green, we get their cards. And if we get enough cards to trade in, I think we can trade them in and redraft. But I might be wrong about that, but I hope I'm not. He's in tears. I feel bad about this. Slightly bad about this. But hey, man, dem's the breaks. If you didn't want to lose, you should have rolled better dice. It's not hard. It's a very simple prospect. I learned from the best, aka Mouth. Alright, you have been eliminated. Give me your cards, please, Napoleon. Ooh, baby! Yes. Now. It's not my deploy phase. And we don't have matches? That's crazy. But we do control all of that territory, which is pretty sweet. So I don't know how many cards you have, but I think we win the game if we stop you from getting the Australia bonus. You love to see it. As long as we can get one Australian territory and then maybe just... We're rolling so well, too. As long as we get one Australian territory and bide our time, I think we're in a beautiful spot. I'll take it. Anytime we trade 1 for 1, I'm still pretty stoked because we have a huge numeric advantage, obviously. Very nice. Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, I think now that I look at it, I think I was actually sandbagging a little bit. It appears we will probably fairly easily actually win the game on this turn, which makes her a really, you know, it makes her a really good representation of what I was saying, which is that, you know, Risk global domination. It doesn't have to take, oh, come on. It doesn't have to take 3 hours. You know, you can knock out a game in half an hour against the AI. Close. All right, you got to non-stop 6s or you lose. You've lost. God, I'm good. I finally got a victory and I finally got the achievement for winning a game. Token awarded. Now go forth in battle. How about handing us 5 stars as well? Okay, so I mean, this is straight up a port of the mobile game, in case that wasn't clear. But I really, you know, some people have an innate disgust in some ways for like mobile ports to begin with. I'm not one of those people. I think that Risk Global Domination actually does a really good job of being a serviceable version of the digital board game that you know and love, or maybe resent. I hope you enjoyed watching it. This is something we might fit in on the NLSS now and then, but definitely not for the full 3-hour window, as we noticed last time. It gets a little samey. However, I think if you're looking to play a board game with your friends, please add this one to the oeuvre. I would definitely rather play Risk in this than play it in Tabletop Simulator, where you gotta manually roll your own dice, calculate stuff, etc., etc. Streamlining that process and letting you get down to the actual, like, emergent gameplay of Risk, I think is a smart idea. So, hey, check it out on Steam if you're interested. There will be a link in the video description below. Of course, if you enjoyed the episode, subscribe. I am the preeminent war gamer on YouTube, as it's very clear. I've just eliminated 2 opponents in merely a half hour. For now, thanks for watching. Click the like button if you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time. See ya!